Queen Elizabeth II smiles as she meets people being helped by the Prince's Trust at the Prince's Trust Centre in Kennington on March 8, 2016, in London, England. On June 2, 1931, Britain's Queen Mary left, with 5-year-old Princess Elizabeth, later to become Queen Elizabeth II, accompanied by the Lady Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, the Duchess of York, returning to Buckingham Palace, London, after the Trooping of the Colour ceremony. Britain's Princess Elizabeth is introduced by her mother, the Duchess of York, to disabled soldiers at an exhibition of their work in London on May 16, 1933. Princess Elizabeth, age 10, with her pet dog, London, in July 1936. Princess Elizabeth leans out of the Duchess's box at the Dick Whittington pantomime at the Lyceum Theatre on February 6, 1935. The little princess, age 11, appears on the balcony of Buckingham Palace on the occasion of the coronation of her father, King George VI, on May 12, 1937, in London. Princess Elizabeth celebrates her 13th birthday on April 21, 1939. The princess was allowed to plan her own day, as it was her birthday, and after opening her presents in the morning, she went riding in Windsor Great Park with the King and Princess Margaret, her younger sister. Performing one of the many public duties she will be called on to perform as a member of the royal house, Princess Elizabeth, heiress apparent to the British throne, broadcast a 3-minute speech to British girls and boys evacuated overseas on October 22, 1940, in London, England. She is joined in bidding goodnight to her listeners by her sister, Princess Margaret Rose. Princess Elizabeth, Centre, ties knots under the watchful eyes of an expert at Buckingham Palace, on January 9, 1943, in London. The white stripes on her pocket proclaim her to be a Girl Guides patrol leader. Princess Elizabeth wearing her Sea Ranger's uniform on January 1, 1944. Princess Elizabeth learns basic car maintenance as a second subaltern in the Women's Auxiliary Territorial Service on April 12, 1945. While aboard the HMS Vanguard, Crown Princess Elizabeth plays tag with midshipmen on February 28, 1947. Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, waved to the crowds from the balcony at Buckingham Palace in London on November 20, 1947, their wedding day. Princess Elizabeth with her 1-month-old son Prince Charles of Edinburgh, on December 21, 1948. Queen Elizabeth II, in a garden with a dog, in March 1953. Queen Elizabeth, during her coronation ceremony in London on June 2, 1953. The royal family on the balcony of Buckingham Palace after the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, on June 2, 1953. Queen Elizabeth II waves to spectators along Parade Route in New York City on October 21, 1957, as the royal motorcade moves up Lower Broadway. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip are study in concentration in Skferville, as they listen to explanation on workings of an iron ore mine on another stop in their royal tour of Canada on June 20, 1959. Queen Elizabeth II addresses a vast gathering of more than 250,000 at the Ramleh Grounds, a huge public meeting place outside the walls of Old Delhi, India, on January 28, 1961. It was by far the largest audience ever directly addressed by the sovereign. The Duke of Edinburgh, Jackie Kennedy, Queen Elizabeth, and President Kennedy at Buckingham Palace on June 6, 1961. Queen Elizabeth with her two youngest children, Prince Edward and Prince Andrew, Wright, in Windsor Castle on June 23, 1965. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip fly back from a visit to Yorkshire in an endeavour of the Queen's flight, in a photo taken during the filming of the joint ITV-BBC film documentary, The Royal Family in 1969. Prince Charles with his mother Queen Elizabeth II, in 1969. Queen Elizabeth II on horseback during the trooping celebration ceremony on June 11, 1977. Queen Elizabeth laughs, alongside her husband Prince Philip, as they drive through the crowd of athletes and officials during the closing ceremony of the 12th Commonwealth Games, in the Queen Elizabeth II Jubilee Sports Centre, in Brisbane, Australia, on October 9, 1982. Queen Elizabeth joins the Prince and Princess of Wales on a Buckingham Palace balcony following their London wedding on July 29, 1981. The park superintendent Bob Ben-Weiss points out highlights from Inspiration Point to Queen Elizabeth II during her visit to Yosemite National Park, in California, on March 5, 1983. Queen Elizabeth walks with her husband Prince Philip through the Royal Gallery after delivering her speech during the state opening of Parliament at the Houses of Parliament in London on November 18, 2009. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh walk at Broadlands in Romsey, southern England, in this undated photograph taken in 2007. Queen Elizabeth rides her horse in the grounds of Windsor Castle on April 2, 2002. Queen Elizabeth speaks next to U.S. President Barack Obama during a state banquet in Buckingham Palace in London on May 24, 2011. Queen Elizabeth II drives her Range Rover as she attends the Windsor Horse Show on May 12, 2011, in Windsor, England. Britain's Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip left, inspect the horses in the parade ring before the Derby race at Epsom Derby, Epsom, southern England, on June 2, 2012, the first official day of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrations. Queen Elizabeth meets construction workers as she attends the official opening of the refurbished Reading Station, west of London, on July 17, 2014. A local youth takes a selfie photograph in front of Queen Elizabeth II during a visit to St George's Indoor Market on June 24, 2014, in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Prince George of Cambridge talks to Queen Elizabeth outside the Church of St Mary Magdalene on the Sandringham estate for the christening of Princess Charlotte of Cambridge on July 5, 2015. in King's Lynn, England. Queen Elizabeth boards her carriage as she travels on the new Scottish Borders Railway line, in Scotland, on September 9, 2015. The German Chancellor Angela Merkel, left, and Britain's Queen Elizabeth II, right, smile as a little robot waves to the Queen during a reception at the Technische Universität, or Technical University, in Berlin, Germany, on June 24, 2015. Four generations posed together in this hand-out image released by Buckingham Palace on April 20, 2016. From left, Prince Charles, Prince of Wales, Queen Elizabeth II, Prince George, and Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, posed during a Royal Mail photo shoot for a stamp sheet to mark the 90th birthday of Queen Elizabeth II in the White Drawing Room at Buckingham Palace in the summer of 2015 in London, England. Queen Elizabeth is driven through Windsor in an open-top Range Rover with Prince Philip on her 90th birthday, in Windsor, on April 21, 2016.